Good morning, dear listeners. Welcome to another episode of Career Talk PH, the program where we dive into the journeys, insights, and experiences of professionals here in the Philippines and around the world. I'm your host, Richard Session, and today we have a very special guest who will share her story and offer valuable advice for all of us navigating our career paths. Joining us is a distinguished Doctor of Education currently working as an international educator in Florida, USA. Her journey is truly inspiring and highlights both the opportunities and challenges those Filipino professionals face when seeking career growth abroad. Good morning, Dr. Archibald Flamiano, and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Doc Richard.
Yes, Doc, I'm so glad you could join us today, and I'm certain you're the perfect person to talk about our topic, given your experience as a professional teacher abroad. But before that, Doc Beth, is it all right if we record our conversation?
Yes, Doc. You're good.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. So, kamusta naman yung life natin dyan, Doc, as an international educator sa United States po?
I am
Kasi hindi
totally
madaling
fine.
makaano diyan, 'di ba? Hindi madaling makapasok diyan sa United States. So kamusta naman po?
Okay lang po. I'm totally fine right now. And actually, all of us here are actually adjusting our body clock because of the fallback of time. So you are now in the Philippines 13 hours ahead of us. So it's also a matter of adjustment in terms of our biological clock. But so far, so good.
Okay, so let's start, Doc. Can you share with us how your journey as an international teacher started? What inspired you to take your career abroad?
I used to be a public school teacher in the
Mhm.
Philippines. And just like any other professionals in the Philippines, we seek for greener pasture, we seek for betterment in our life. So when
Mhm.
I was a public school teacher, hindi po ako naiiba sa karaniwang guro. I'm also part of that loan system, right? Yung loan
Mhm.
diri, loan doon, loan dito. So that's number one, financial difficulties. Though my husband is actually a government employee also, and I'm the government service as well, with
Mhm.
three kids, one with special needs, I am into that financial difficulties. So what we're earning is not enough to suffice the needs of our three children. And starting a family also was another challenge because you have to make sure that you can provide the house for sure and everything that they need, the family needs. So that's one reason. And another one, I was already like 4 years in the government service, and the
Mhm.
everyday task that I'm doing is just a matter of repetition. I feel I'm not growing professionally anymore. Though I was sent to different trainings, I don't feel that I can like I still gonna be growing in that part of my career. So one time when I was going out of the school, look up there with the signage of the elementary school I am actually teaching. I asked myself, is this the same working environment that I'm gonna be spending with for the rest of my life? And the answer is no. And another friend told me that, you know what? If you wanted improvement, if you wanted a change in your life, why not try working abroad? And I thought about that. And I decided later on, yeah, why not? Give it a try. So that's what I did. So I applied. Actually, my first target was going straight to the United States. But when you
Mhm.
go to Manila, apply for an agency there is a totally different story because it's all about money. So I remembered when I applied, just like attending an orientation will cost you $1,000
Mhm.
when you are to be uh for that interview, you're gonna pay I think 60,000. And I said, I'll not be doing that because if I'm gonna be spending like 500,000 to now 1,000,000, how I can be able to retrieve that or paano ko yan ma-recover when I'll be in the United States? For sure, I'll be
Yes.
working like half a year just to
Mhm.
pay for that money that I spent just coming here. Is a no. So later on, I just tried, okay, not to the United States right away, but with other countries. So I send different applications to different agencies in Manila. And then I also even went to Manila that time just to have a face-to-face interview. The good thing was that my principal before was very supportive of this journey of mine. And she told me that if you think that this is where you'll be good at, then go ahead. I'll just be right here behind you. So that's a good thing. Having a principal who will be supportive of your dreams. So that's what she did. And then when I went to Manila, I was accepted for the job. But before accepting the job, I'll make sure that I have this criteria. Like
Mhm.
before I'm gonna accept this, the salary should be double the salary I'm receiving in the Philippines because it will be worth the sacrifice that I'll be doing, leaving my family behind and alone in the other country, which I don't know what the situation will be when I will be in that country, di ba? So it's a matter of taking a risk. Hindi mo alam kung
Yes.
anong pupuntahan mo. So you make sure it's worth the risk before you leave our home country. So yun ang ginawa ko. Sisigurado ko na, ito ng salary offer sa akin. Is it worth na iiwanan ko yung pamilya ko, yung trabaho ko na regular na, and then pupunta sa walang kasiguraduhan? Or, working abroad also, may ano siya may time limit 'di ba?
Mhm.
Yung kontrata
Time
mo may
difference.
katapusan. So is it worth na iwanan mo yung lifetime the government service mo just to have this work abroad na 2 to 3 years lang? Anyway, sa Kuwait naman is as long as you wanted to stay there and the employer wanted you, then pwede naman siya i-renew. So no problem about that. So that's what happened to me. So when I have the job offer, double the amount of what I'm receiving in the Philippines. And I know also some Filipinos already working in that particular school that I'm going to. So I accepted the job offer and then went there. And that's also a very good plan of the Lord because when I went there, a
Mhm.
co-teacher of mine told me like, ma'am, would you like to apply in the United States? Which, you see, for the very first, bago pang lahat, yun talagang gusto kong puntahan. But
Mhm.
God made a way and gave me this certain person to introduce me the pathway to the United States. So she gave me the link. I applied there. With the last year that I was in Kuwait, I went through the process of applying to the United States. I collected all the necessary documents. And then before I left Kuwait, I'm ready now for the principal interview for a school in the United States. So when I was in the Philippines that time, I had the principal interview. I was accepted, given job offer, and that's the time now that I processed my visa. And I went home June of 2012. I was in the United States September of 2012. So it's just a matter of 2 to 3 months that I
Mhm.
shift from Kuwait to the United States.
And so, how do you prepare yourself, Doc, in teaching other countries? Because na-mention mo nga kanina na it's very risky leaving your permanent job here in the Philippines. So, how do you prepare yourself? Is it enough to prepare yourself with your motivation alone, or what are your preparations before going there?
Actually, you need to prepare holistically as a
Mhm.
whole, mind, body, and soul. With regards to your mind, yung mental health, importante. Aside
Mhm.
from, dapat matalino ka,
Yes.
dapat may alam ka,
Mhm.
dapat alam mo kung anong gagawin mo. Yung conceptual knowledge, pedagogical knowledge mo kompleto. Yung parang you know everything in terms of education. As a teacher, alam mo kung dapat anong ituturo mo, 'di ba? Hindi ka mangangapa. Yung
Mhm.
sabi ko nga is, pupunta ka sa ibang lugar, dapat lagi kang handa. So you have, yung weapons mo ay yung kaalaman mo, at saka
Mhm.
katatagan mo ng loob, yung physical, yung physical strength mo, emotional strength, most
Yes.
especially spiritual strength mo rin dahil hindi mo alam kung saan ka pupunta eh. Hindi mo alam
Mm-hmm.
yung mga tao sa paligid mo and you don't know also the culture of a certain country. So you should be prepared as a whole for you to be successful to the new country. Hindi yan katulad ng Pilipinas na okay lang, kaya mo yan. But here, you have nobody also. Ikaw lang mag-isa, di ba? You go
Mm-hmm.
on your own. So dapat kaya mo yun. Yung alam mo kung anong gagawin mo. And I remember the friend told me, yung bagong dating ako dito sa US, he was already in the US for the past 20 years. Ang sabi niya sa akin, you should be, yung una ba, yung ang gagawin mo dapat ay, yung ano ka, magiging mapagmasid ka. Be
Mm-hmm.
observant and be selective and do not open your all to anyone and never trust anyone also. Kasi you don't
Mm-hmm.
know kung sinong kalaban mo, sinong kakampi mo dyan. So you should
Yeah.
be mindful, you should be careful, and you should just do your best in the job that you are given and no drama alongside with that. Just focus on the job and the reason why you are there.
Okay. So how do you handle your colleagues? Because remember, nasa United States and then ang dami-dami ding mga teachers galing din sa other countries and then you are catering different students coming from the Philippines, Kuwait, and then United States. So how do you handle those characters or behaviors of the students from diverse cultures?
Una is yung colleagues mo, 'di ba? Yung
Mm-hmm.
co-teachers mo. So, with my first school dito sa US, ako lang mag-isang Pinoy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Nag-iisang Pinoy. So, mahirap aside from nosebleed ka. Kasi you cannot speak Tagalog or
Yes.
the dialect that you used to be speaking in the Philippines. Dito is you have to be able to communicate with them. So yun nga, you should be a very observant. You should be very careful also, especially there are some cultural matters that yung parang bawat sa kanila, hindi dapat gawin ito sa kanila. So dapat I think for a year I'm just observing people and try to figure out eto siya ganito ugali niya dito siya ganito ugali niya. So what I do, I just again focus on the work that I have, a homeschool, go straight to your classroom. So yun ang gagawin mo. Yung dito naman yung second ano ko na dito, yung second program ko naman, I'm here in Florida. So same thing. In the school that I have ngayon, ako lang din may isang Asian at may isang Pinoy din.
Mm-hmm.
Alam mo, eto naman is a big school. Marami kami. So the first time that I entered the school, para kang alien.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi, minsan hindi ka nakikita.
Mm-hmm.
Minsan naman hindi ka naririnig. So I remember sitting first time sa meeting. The good thing about
Yes.
my principal is, yung nakaupo lang ako doon mag-isa, wala akong kilala. Nahiya naman akong makipagkilala agad kasi nga bago ka nga eh.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
you're the only new teacher also.
Mm-hmm.
Bago ka na nga sa paningin nila, nag-iisang bago ka pa dyan. So yun ang problema. So yung ginawa ko, naupo lang ako, nakinig. And tulad nga ng sabi ko, ang principal ko naman is very attentive naman siguro. Kinalabit ko yung isang, parang isang Colombian teacher na maupo katabi ko. So maybe that's the first thing na nagkaroon ako meron akong kakampi dito. So she started asking me questions and then I answered back also, but not that much. Like open up agad. So yun talagang yung professional way. And then after that, I went to my classroom, do what I need to do. And then it takes time na nakita yung aking presence. I just need to do what I need to do. I teach every day. Ganito yan. Just the usual na pagtuturo hanggang sa they will be able to see you. They will be able to see your presence at sila na mismo
Mm-hmm.
ang mag-reach out din sa'yo. And in my second year now, I feel comfortable na kasi kilala na nila ako. Kilala nila din ako kung paano ako magturo, how I deal with students. So nagkaroon na ako ng presence and that makes everything easy na. And I'm happy going to that school. Kasi mahirap naman kasi yung mag-isa ka lang. Pagpasok mo sa eskwelahan, estudyante mo lang kausap mo. So we are dealing, on my first year is more on a professional relationship lang. We talk, it's not nothing personal. But at the latter part of the year, nagkaroon na ako ng sarili ko ring friends, yung nag-reach out din sa akin. At the same time, nag-click din yung mga ugali namin. So, yun na yung kagandahan doon. Pero, kung ikaw naman ay talagang ano, yung hindi mo kaya na mamuhay mag-isa, talagang malulungkot ka kasi wala kang kaibigan sa school. Pero again, tulad ng sabi ko, if your purpose there is to teach, to earn for your family, regardless if you have nobody in there, as long as you're doing your job and you're earning for your family, talagang makakasurvive ka.
Yeah. At saka mas maganda din siguro yung ano no, yung parang you're going to study the culture of the country kung saan ka magtatrabaho. So that is it easy for you to cope with their culture as well.
Hindi
Malaki
naman
siguro yun.
lahat, Doc, na nababasa mo is totoo.
Okay.
Iba pa rin yung totoong nakikita mo at
Nakikita.
na-experience mo. Yun nga nasabi
Yeah.
ko yung unang dating ko dito, I have the idea of America as superpower and everything na walang mga flaws. Pero alam nyo, pareho lang na naman ng Pilipinas may sariling problema din naman sila. So,
Yeah.
yun. So, kasi hindi natin nababasa at nakikita. So,
So,
say, iba talaga kung nandito ka.
magkaiba pala yung sometimes nagkakaroon din ng ano no, yung parang hindi din naman pala ganun yung mga nababasa natin. Mas maganda siguro no pag meron kang idea and then syempre mas maganda din kung I mean ma-experience mo talaga and then doon mag yun na lang gagawin mo kung paano ka magso-survive doon.
Exactly. Experience is the best
And then
teacher.
siguro
So,
sa
yeah,
tao.
experience is the best teacher. And then, adaptability mo na lang on how you are
Yeah.
gonna be adapting whatever is there. And then, you walk through it. So, you make sure na, talagang yung goal mo nga, magiging ano mo yun, magiging star mo yun. Yung Northern Lights mo dun para alam mo kung saan ka talaga patungo and you will be able, talagang check and balance din. Lagi mong i-check ang sarili mo. Nandito pa ba ako sa path na gusto kong puntahan? Dapat nakalagay yan. Yung goal mo talaga is nakaset na dyan at saka ito yung gagawin ko. And then every now and then, you keep reflecting on yourself. Nandito pa ba ako sa path na ito? Kaya pa ba? Ganon. So, naputo tayo doon. In terms naman sa students, yun ang question mo sa akin pangalawa. So, katulad ng sa mga students naman, hindi lang naman na ang Amerika lang may problema in terms of behavior. Malaki ang Amerika. So, other parts of America, they don't hire international teachers. Those parts na maraming behavior problems, dun din maraming international teachers. Kasi ang reason, walang local na magtatagal at magtitiis sa ugali ng mga bata sa loob ng classroom. Hindi naman lahat talaga na walang local. Meron pa rin mga passionate enough na magtuturo inside the classroom. But mostly, those schools with behavior issues ng mga bata, hindi lahat ng classroom may gurong local. They will be hiring international teachers who is knowledgeable sa subject, at the same time, may puso para sa mga estudyante. And that's where we Filipinos excel. Yung we Filipinos, we teachers, we give above and beyond what is expected of us. Magaling tayo sa pagtuturo at magaling din tayong makisama at magaling din tayo mag-handle sa mga situations na yan. We are resilient as a people. So, nahahanapan natin ng mga kasagutan ng bawat problema. Nalulusutan natin ang anumang mga challenges dyan. Kaya natin. So, yun na ang kagandahan nating mga Filipino. And I know other nationalities as well. Kaya sila nagsusurvive din, nagtatrive din dito sa US, dealing with students with classroom behaviors. Pero at the end of the day, nakakayanan din. Usually first year lang naman yung adjustment period. Once you're able to adopt and you know already what to do, the second, the third, and the following years will be all right for you. Yeah. At ayaw mo nang umuwi ng Pilipinas. Yun usually ang nakikita ko sa mga other teachers here. Yeah. It's always first year. Maraming iyakan, maraming pagod na ako, ay di ko na 'to kakayanin. But yung mga kakilala ko rin dito, I always tell them, if mababait yung mga bata dito, wala tayo dito. And the reasons
Mm.
why we are here, kasi walang magtuturo sa kanila because of that problem. So kung hindi mo yan kakayanin, hindi rin kinaya ng iba, so wala ka dito. But because dahil nga may problemang ganyan at hindi na kaya ng iba, kaya ka nandito. So, think about that and make that as your inspiration to work forward, na tuloy-tuloy yung trabaho mo dito. Pag mahanap mo na yung tamang tiempo, tamang process, tamang pag-deal ng ganyan, wala
Mhm.
na. And the rest of the years na, kakayanin mo na, patatapos mo na yung, ano mo dito, yung purpose mo dito.
So, how has teaching internationally shaped you as a professional, and how did it influence your perspective on lifelong learning?
So, yun nga, learning is a lifelong learning
Mm.
is lifelong. Yung para bang you learn every day. So when I was in the Philippines, parang feeling ko, alam ko na lahat, 'di ba? Because yun
Mm.
nga, we are trained we know the subject, we know how the system works and everything. So yun ang bilib mo sa sarili mo, I know everything. I know kakayanan ko ito. I know my subject area. I know how to teach students and everything. Pero pag pumunta ka na dito, parang sa pagsasalita pa lang, feeling mo, ay, ano lang ko, hanggang dito lang pala ako sa kalingkingan.
Mm.
We have a lot of things to learn. Yung nandito na ako. And then every day, I try to learn something. Every day I try to yung ugali ko kasi, if I see something good in that person, I try to emulate that person. And I
Mm.
try to get something good in that person and try to practice that within myself. And in that way, I'm also improving in terms of my professional values and attitude as well. Aside from you are being trained through your professional development, you are able to apply also what is in the book, and you're able
Mm.
to see also that people around you are implementing the same thing as you believe will be effective in your teaching learning process. So it's just the talk walk the talk. So there you are trained, people around you are also doing the same thing. So in that way, you are not only talking what you learn from the professional developments, but you're actually implementing that inside the classroom. So you as a teacher now develop also professionally. And that's also in your habit na. Nagiging ugali mo na yan. And that standard now will be in you, embedded in you. That wherever you go, you can always survive because you are not only taught with the subject matter and how to teach them well inside the classroom, you're also being taught of the pedagogy on how to teach and how to students learn and everything. So that makes you feel that, oh, I'm confident, I'm a better person, I'm a better teacher now because of
Mm.
those things that are provided for you. And aside from that, you all the what do you call this, the facilities also. Facilities is just worldwide. Facilities are world class. So the classroom that you dream of from the Philippines, alam ko doon sa Pilipinas is open air tayo. And then
Mm.
luma yung mga buildings natin. Luma yung mga upuan. And then you need to repaint that every year and so on. So those things, when you are in the United States, you'll be in a classroom, air conditioned, the aircon, all all year long, gano'n. And then with all those facilities at mga equipments na mapabilis yung pagtuturo, nandun na lahat. So what can you ask for? So yun nga sabi ko, dito sa US, nakakapagturo ka, no? Hindi ka nahihirapan sa pagtuturo because everything is provided. Behavior lang problema mo. And you are also being paid sobra-sobra sa pangangailangan mo. So what else can you ask for, 'di ba? If you are
Yeah.
already sufficient in terms of the technologies around you, the educational supplies around you, and you're also paid na tama or even sobra pa sa pangangailangan mo, what can you ask for, 'di ba? So yun ang kagandahan dito as
Kaya
compared
nga kaya nga
sa
siguro
atin.
ang dami-dami ding mga ano no, mga professionals sa sobrang gagaling din ng mga teachers. Hindi lang naman teachers, may mga nurses pa tayo, engineers and even doctors na pumupunta sa abroad. Yan. So kumbaga parang ano parang ito ay isang malaking ano din, malaking kawalan din sa ating bansa. Na syempre na sana dito sila nagsiserve sa Philippines but they are serving other countries, other citizens, mga ganyan. So looking at the bigger picture, Doc, how do you think our education system and industry leaders could work together to create more opportunities right here in the Philippines? Na kumbaga na parang hindi na sila aalis yung mga potentials natin na mga professional.
It's quite a very difficult question to answer. Ayoko din sabihin na hindi ako patriotic on a certain
Yeah.
aspect, 'di ba? But real talk lang po tayo. Yeah, I'll
Yes,
just be
yes.
telling you the truth because in as much as I love the Philippines, marami pa tayong kulang. At tinitingnan ko nga mas advantage yan na maraming umaalis kasi we have a lot of graduates also in the Philippines who are jobless, who are
Yeah.
unemployed. So that will provide them also opportunities to start themselves. And if they're
Mm.
ready, they can always go out. Yeah. So yun din ang sinasabi ko for our LPTs, yung mga teachers natin, yung mga bagong pasa sa board exam. So they can
Yeah.
have that. So pag maraming aalis, so that provide opportunities also for our fresh graduates. So there's yung problema lang natin is we have an imbalance of graduates at saka yung mga career opportunities natin. Yun ang kulang sa atin. At the same time, yun dahil doon, so napipilitan yung mga magagaling natin na mga professionals sa mga ibang bayan because they are expecting more. 'Di ba? Fresh graduate ka, you have high hopes. Na ito yung para sa atin, ang edukasyon, education is the key to success. Yun nga
Mm.
naalala ko lagi nung elementary ako, nung high school ako, sabi ko, I need to study, I need to finish my education because it will lead me to the success I'm praying for. So, pag graduate mo, you will just be yung para bang, eto ba yun? Eto ba yung ano? Yung parang sa araw-araw ng buhay mo, mag-a-apply ka, nahihirapan pa nga ka mag-apply kasi ang dami mong dami mong competition, 'di ba? So mag-a-apply ka, pipila ka pa doon. So ganun kahirap makahanap ng trabaho sa Pilipinas. At kung makahanap ka man ng
Hindi din ganun
trabaho,
kalaki na sweldo.
tama lang. Nalala ko nga
Mm.
sabi dito sa Amerika,
Yes.
you are broke if you are living paycheck to paycheck. So that
Mm-hmm.
means you have the paycheck now, you pay that paycheck, and you are left with nothing, no savings, and then you're gonna wait for another paycheck. Broke ka ng tawag doon. How much more sa atin sa Pilipinas? We're not
Mm.
actually living paycheck to paycheck, but we have loans to pay. So yun yun ang problema natin. It's a systemic problem. So I hope and I pray na darating yung panahon na there will be more employment opportunities for our citizens, especially those new graduates na they'll be able to yung makapagtrabaho sila ng maayos at the same time they will be earning more than enough what they need to support themselves and their families as well. Especially tayo, masyado tayong mahilig sa may extended family. So, lagi-lagi pag wala yung isa, tulungan, di ba? Magtututungan tayo. Isa din yung reason bakit din ako umalis. Kasi nga, pareho lang kami ng husband ko na nasa government service. And then, he has this old parents. So darating yung panahon, sabi ko sa kanya, kung magkakasakit yung dalawang magulang mo, sino ang pupunta niya, 'di ba tayo? And then tayo nahirap tayo i-support yung sarili natin. How much more na magpapa-ospital pa tayo ng ating mga magulang. So that's something
Yes.
also that we need to ponder upon na yung natin, yung financial stability natin, yun talaga ang pinaka biggest factor why our professionals are trying to go somewhere for greener pasture because they wanted to provide not only for themselves but also for their families.
Yeah. So, ito na lang, Doc. What advice would you give to students or young professionals who are trying to decide whether to build their careers locally or go abroad?
So, yun ang sinasabi ko din, with the students na yung nagtuturo ako 'no, I taught it also in college, and
Mm.
kahit sa graduate school din. If you plan to be working here in the Philippines, so you have to live within your means. Yung magiging simple ka, so and you have that heart that is already your mission. You are not aiming for more greater than what the Philippines can offer, and you will be successful with that. If your goal is ganito, you set your goal like this, and you don't have the heart and the courage to try and experience abroad, to take that risk abroad, so you stay in the Philippines and then improve yourself. Maghanap ka ng paraan na ma-improve yung sarili mo at maging successful ka kung pipiliin mong manatili sa Pilipinas. But if you are that one courageous, yung risk taker na tao, and you
Yeah.
wanted more for yourself and your family, then why not try working abroad? And you need to choose also countries na katulad ng US na sure talaga na safe ka. Kasi alam mo naman, meron namang mga lugar na hindi safe kahit na abroad yan, di ba? So you go to the US and other countries that you feel safe and that you are well compensated. Para naman, kung ano man yung sakripisyo mo na mapalayo sa Pilipinas, magiging ano siya, worth it siya. If you
Worth it.
will be able to get those things na hindi maibigay nandun sa Pilipinas. So yun din ang sabi ko sa mga estudyante ko at sa mga kilala ko na nagtatrabaho
Mm.
sa Pilipinas, young professionals. So, sa lahat is you make sure that you invest in yourself, especially in the knowledge wise, in the way you communicate, and the way you handle yourself also. Yung character mo, you build that one up. Yan ang magiging puhunan mo eh. In order for you na kung sakali mang gugustuhin mong lumabas, then you are well equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge that will help you survive wherever you are. So kung sa Pilipinas ka, then work for it. Kung sa gusto mong mag-abroad, then you have to work for it. Para naman, you will be ready kung ano man ang magiging kapalaran mo pag mag-ibang bayan ka. And whichever decisions that you make, dapat panindigan mo at wala kang dapat na i-regret kung ano mang mangyari sa'yo along the way. Just find everything na yung lahat ng mga bagay na yun ay nasa palad mo na. Everything happens for a reason. So,
Yeah.
no regrets, just accept, adjust. Pag hindi siya na ayon sa gusto mo, you adjust. But you make sure that you continue to focus kung ano ba yung goal mo sa buhay, kung ano ba yung tinitingnan mo na gusto mong mangyari sa buhay mo. Once you are happy of what you are right now, happy ka na, then everything will be all right. Na every day will be, yun ang isa pa rin parang nasabi ko lagi, kahit na nasa Pilipinas ka or nasa abroad ka man, if you are happy going to that workplace, that means you are happy at magtatagal ka. Pero kung feeling mo na everyday, oh, it's a challenge, then find another career for you. Kasi hindi yan masaya para sa'yo. Magiging stress lang yan palagi sa araw-araw ng buhay mo.
Okay. So Doc, thank you so much for your time sa ating Career Talk PH na binigay po ninyo. Very informative yung mga insights na binigay ninyo na makakatulong din sa ating mga professionals in starting their career in the Philippines and of course abroad. So thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you, Doc Richard.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.